3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
The World Wrestling Federation, for over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, pal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never, ever end.
Everybody 3 count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough now. I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing? There's a 1. There's a 2. Oh,
wow. Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
What's up? Welcome Tuesday afternoon, 3CT. It is Tuesday, February the 16th, 2021. And we are here because there was a pay-per-view this past Sunday. Well, actually, not a pay-per-view. Sorry, not a pay-per-view. I'm not Sam Roberts. I'm not going to start off being wrong from the jump. It was not a pay-per-view. It was a network event. It was NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. So we are here. We want to talk to you. We want to review the show. We'll get, some thoughts, obviously, from Tim and Matt and intern Mark. Couldn't think of his name because I'm an idiot on a Tuesday afternoon. But we wanted to jump on here and give our thoughts. So, Ryan, how we doing on this? Well, it's not sunny anymore. It was sunny earlier. I was out. I had to run to the post office, and it was sunny. It's no longer sunny, but it is a Tuesday afternoon nonetheless.
It is a Tuesday afternoon in central Pennsylvania. The snow is melting. It's like 45-ish degrees out.
Yeah, warm out there, actually.
Very warm. I ran some errands today. It's my day off from work. I stopped and grabbed some lunch. I dressed in shorts and a hoodie, and I was very comfortable. It was a lovely day in the neighborhood. I'm doing great, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing good as well, man. Yeah, it was a nice day out. Like when I ran out, I had to get gas and run to the post office. Also did so in shorts.
Yeah.
So yeah, very, very nice day. I hear it's not supposed to be so great when we're on the air Thursday night, but it is.
They're calling for some more snow, I think, right?
Yeah, something. I guess I'm tired.
Is it like an inch of snow or like a dusting?
The word on the news today was plowable. So like
my ex-girlfriend.
Oh
my.
Sure.
Hey.
Sure. Very, very much so. But sure, Devin with us here. If you're following along with us, give us a like and a share. We'd appreciate that one. But like a plowable snow literally can be anywhere from like 3 to 4 inches to
8 plus
bullshit. So
right.
I'm hoping it's on the lighter end and not on the bullshit end, but we'll see. I mean, like been the story of the last year, and not like I'm going anywhere, but
I hate this.
I still just don't like to deal with it. I'd much rather not have to go anywhere when it's like, sunny and 65 plus, but whatever. It's winter time. I guess we just have to deal with it.
That's what they say, huh?
But like, at least we're not Texas. Like, have you seen some of like the video and pictures from Texas right now. I mean, they are.
Well, I
like,
know our buddy from NGSC Sports, the boss man, is down there and just got power back recently.
oof, yeah, it's
So thoughts
man.
with everybody down there because they ain't used to this.
No,
Pipes are freezing. I have relatives living down in Texas that their internal house temperature was like 40 some degrees. So what it is outside was their inside temperature. Trying to just keep some water running so their pipes didn't break. But they're not used to this.
No.
We're going to school and what they're dealing with, it feels like.
Yeah,
But,
exactly. Like I have friends that live. I have a couple people I know that live in Texas, and one of them they had lost power for like 18 hours. Their in-house temperature was like 38.
Yeah, it's wild.
They had driven to just like down the road to like Walgreens,
right?
Just to get out of the house and like get warm in the car because the house was so cold. But yeah, they're not used to dealing with it, and like the houses I don't think are like insulated as well because like
they're not sitting on generators because
right.
Right.
I guess not, but in the same time, I thought, you're in an area where there's the occasional like hurricane goes through. You're in
some areas of Texas,
like, thunderstorm, like heavy storms,
sure.
And tornadoes. The tornadoes will go through. So like, I thought I was shocked that more Texans don't have generators.
Do you have a generator? Because we get some bad snows.
I don't. I want to get one.
I don't.
But here's the deal. I've always lived in town. Like
okay.
In the borough. So like, yeah, if we lose power, it's generally not going to be a very long time that's we're without it, because like they are going to work to get more populated areas back online
first
quicker, as opposed to like if I lived up in like Shennick. Now for like
Shennick,
for like people outside of central Pennsylvania have no idea what Shennick is, but it's like if you head to the Nowheresville of Pennsylvania, you swing a right and drive like a 1/10 of a mile. That's where Shennick is.
Beautiful this time of year.
If I lived in Shennick, I would absolutely have a generator and now I do have a kerosene heater.
Okay, so you can warm up.
So if it got really bad, now I don't know
how much kerosene do you got.
I actually now this is funny. Okay, so the old house where we did the old 3 Count Thursdays, that
was that Studio F. Is that what we called it?
Studio F. We bought that in to be 11 years ago in the springtime. I bought the kerosene heater that winter, and I've got to get like a kerosene can full of kerosene. I've never had to use it. The kerosene's still that. So I don't know if kerosene, does it go bad?
We'll have to look that up.
I know it lasts longer than gasoline, but I don't know if it lasts decades.
So
I'm
not sure about that.
I should probably look into that. Like
you can probably drink it now and it'd be safe.
Well, I'll just go do that. I'm gonna
try it. Let me know.
Give that a try. And I'm sure somebody else will be hosting the show on Thursday night. So, yeah. So I don't have. Do you guys have a generator?
We do. I have a very small generator. It was again never really needed anything. I don't know. It's just I just saw a lot of people saying who have generators, and I think people think people have them all the time. I mean, we do have one, but whatever. People were also saying, why don't they just like wear gloves and beanies and like heavy coats? And I'm like, well, it gets chilly, but they live in Texas.
Right.
So their cold is like near freezing, probably. I don't know. I don't know nothing about weather. I don't even know where Texas is really at. It's just a little south of Ohio. I don't fucking know.
Sure. Just a little bit.
Right. So you go like left to Ohio and just go down the map and you're near Texas.
Yeah.
If you're not there, just keep going left and you'll eventually get to Texas.
We'll go. So if my frame is the US, okay?
It's a little further than Philadelphia. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a little bit. I'm not good at this. So if my frame
is right is left and left is right.
My frame is the United States. Texas is like right down here.
Yeah, like I said.
It's in the middle, but all the way down.
Left into the down.
but you don't want to keep going left because then you're going to get to like the Pacific Ocean eventually. Just
You know what? I bet it's warmer there too. So just go there.
Well, it probably is warmer at the Pacific Ocean than it is in Texas right now.
I mean, Oklahoma, I don't think is doing great either right now. So
no, I mean it's like
thoughts to those folks as well.
It's like it's cold. I mean, yeah, if it's cold in Texas, it's gonna be cold in Oklahoma.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, generally speaking.
I'm learning so much about geography.
Hey, it's good, yeah, because Texas is all the way down. Oklahoma's like right above them.
Oh, okay.
So there we go. There's your geography lesson with 3CT on the Tuesday afternoon. But yeah, obviously people affected by the weather. We sincerely hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
It sucks. Like, yeah, we're used to cold, but even still, like we get power outages and stuff like that, and it's no fun. So
right. It sucks.
We hope you get power back soon and everything gets back online for you. But this past Sunday, of course, was the NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. I saw somebody tweet this because, like, I know there's been a lot of people going, well, if they were going to revive Vengeance, why did they not just revive Vengeance, and why did they do Vengeance Day? Because I guess they didn't want to do the St. Valentine's Day Massacre because they're not every indie federation in the world, and because PG product versus like Attitude Era product. But like somebody said, because like Valentine's Day is sometimes referred to as V Day, this actually fell on Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So that's why they did Vengeance Day, V Day as well. So you could have just done Vengeance, but I guess that was maybe some of the thought as to why they didn't go with just Vengeance, why they did Vengeance Day specifically. But 5 matches on the card. We, of course, predicted them last Thursday night on our normal broadcast. And if you don't normally tune in with us on a Thursday night, we encourage you to do so. We go live at 8 o'clock Eastern time on our Facebook page, so make sure you check that out. Go to 3countthursday.com. You'll find the link for that, all of our social media links, our merchandise, our collar and elbow brand deal, and everything else. Just go to 3countthursday.com. You can obviously that's always the number 3. You see it right here at the bottom of the video today. But we started off, and I thought it was a great way to start off this matchup or this card. And I'm trying to remember, I know I put one of the matches on my match of the year list. Okay, I did not put the opener. I thought the opener was fantastic. 17 minutes, 41 seconds, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez defeat Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart for the first ever women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic Championship. This also gets them a shot at the women's tag team titles. Now, I was really hoping that this shot at the women's tag team titles was going to carry out all the way to like WrestleMania. Come to find out, it is actually tomorrow night on NXT Wednesday. So wasting no time getting into that one. At least I believe that's true. I heard. I think it was Tim and Marcus on the Viewer's Choice, their new Viewer's Choice podcast. So are you looking up to see if that's correct, Ryan? Is that what you're doing?
I wasn't even listening again, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Thank you. But Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez picking up the win. One of the things I enjoyed about this one, and I was thinking it, and I know in our group message, Tim verbalized it, was the fact that they kind of did a very interesting booking choice in this matchup where you had the heels building towards like the hot tag moment. Like you had kind of Dakota Kai get isolated, not able to get to her partner, which is a very different choice. But to me, the story in this match, what I think will eventually, and I've talked about this with Dakota and Raquel for a while now, is this match was about Raquel Gonzalez and how much she shined in this matchup. And I mean, just she has future star written all over her, like 100%. And I see, I know everybody, like we've even like made the joke about it on our show, but kind of making the comparison to like Shawn Michaels and Big Daddy Cool Diesel, and kind of those comparisons there. But it kind of does have that feel to it in a way. But I love the way Raquel came out of this matchup. I thought she looked like $1,000,000.
Yeah, Jim. I can't find anything. I'm on the NXT Twitter page. I'm just not seeing anything that's sticking out that's saying that that's going to happen right away. So I think that's a bit rushed if that's the case. I don't know if that was a hope for them to do that. I mean, I guess that could turn some eye, but again, I think you'd want to promote the hell out of that if you're going to.
You would think so, and yeah, I'm trying to find it here too.
I mean, that should be your pinned tweet on Twitter if that's happening. You have what would be 2 Raw superstars down on NXT for a show.
So this is from WrestleLink yesterday. It said there's no word on when the match will happen, but Jax is already annoyed with the idea. I guess like Nia Jax reacted to the victory on Twitter. Yeah, so I don't believe that match is confirmed for tomorrow night. So
again, I think you just want to really, really, really promote that. Again, I feel like they've dropped the ball. They're so hit or miss with the women's tag team championships that I don't know who the hell knows what they're going to do with it. But I think Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez needs to win the women's tag team championships when the time comes. That needs to happen. I feel like you can put the belts in NXT for a little stint and do some neat things with some of the teams down there. You have enough women there to do it. When the championships go vacant from the main rosters for a month, let's just say, you can have main roster talent calling them out and calling them up to defend the championships at that time. So I think you can just do so much with an NXT champion holding them and moving up than we've seen with a main roster champion and stepping down. Really, again, I think we said it in the last TakeOver. It was Raquel Gonzalez's like coming out party. I think this was their tag team coming out party where they looked so strong, so good. Jim, I love that you threw about the traditional the switch that we kind of saw from a traditional tag team match with hot tags and things like that benefiting the heel team, which we don't always see. And honestly, I think this was Shotzi's best performance since signing to NXT. I think she looked good. We're also seeing Ember Moon taking steps to kind of get back to the Ember Moon we remember in NXT before.
Yeah, see, I thought, and whether it was her best performance or not, I thought Shotzi was the weakest of the 4 in this matchup.
I think you're right. Yes, I think she is growing in front of our eyes. I don't think she's ready for singles yet. I think she could benefit from wrestling with people like Ember Moon. And I'm not saying Shotzi's a bad wrestler. Please don't hear that.
Oh, no.
Compared to maybe other NXT caliber wrestlers right now, she's just not at the top, and she can be. I think we're seeing her get better.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is NXT right now. I mean, the women's division is at the very least arguably the best in professional wrestling. Like Impact Wrestling, their women's division is super strong as well. Obviously we have our thoughts about the AEW women's division, but and maybe that's just what it is. I mean, like Shotzi's been at the forefront of a lot of things they've been doing, but it's a lot of it is more, like she was like the MC for Halloween Havoc, and she was like, she's been like a visual representative as opposed to like an in-ring. So like maybe that's just what it is she's not the strongest in ring, but compared to what is just an unbelievable division, Yes. And yeah, like I'm saying, definitely not saying that she is bad by any
at all. Don't hear that.
You don't get to WWE, you don't get to NXT, if you are not good. So definitely not what we're saying here. For this match, Ryan, I gave it a B plus. Like I think there was a couple of points where, Shotzi just it kind of took away from the match a little bit. Definitely a plus because they got the booking decision right. But I thought it was a solid opener to a show that turned out to feel very takeover-y, and that's a good thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good way to start the show. It set the pace for the show. And unfortunately, this was the better of the two women's matches.
It was. I agree. Did you have a letter grade for this matchup?
I'll give it a B. I mean, I don't have one, but I can do it as we go. I will give it a B.
Very good. Then we move to the North American. Well, before we get there, on the pre-show, Eli Drake, L.A. Knight, makes his debut appearance on NXT. How do you feel about L.A. Knight?
Let me tell you one thing about L.A. Knight, Jim. The guy can cut a fucking promo.
He can promo.
He can promo with the best of them. And I don't know how great their promo skills are in NXT right now. I'm trying to think of like a great promo in NXT. I feel like he's instantly in like the top 3 just showing up. I mean, it's simple. It's simple what he does, but it works.
It is simple. It's and I think what did Tim or Marcus, how did they describe it? It was every Rock promo, but in Austin's like tempo.
Sure, that's great. It's a great way to put it.
It's a great analogy. But it's in a way it is kind of that throwback because he does kind of have that throwback feel to him.
Yep.
And it's just kind of something that makes you feel comfortable. Like it's what we in a way used to love.
I would never look at Eli Drake or LA Knight as like the quintessential sports entertainer. I think he is a bit of a throwback to like a wrestler. I think the character fit great in Impact, in NWA. I think that promo works, and I think it'll do just fine in NXT.
Devin says he couldn't give 2 shits about it.
He couldn't give 2 shits about you, Devin.
2 shits. Yeah, I mean,
L.A. Knight.
I was never.
Devin is wrong.
I was never like a huge
color me surprised.
Never a huge Eli Drake fan. But he's a guy that we had seen very prominently with NWA. Last year, 2019.
I can't wait for 6 months from now for you to say I wasn't a huge Eli Drake fan, but let me tell you about L.A. Knight.
L.A. Knight. But I'll give him a shot here. I mean,
Devin won't.
Devin will not.
You will though.
The name, God. I mean, again, it has his thing.
That's what it needs.
But man, that's a little rough.
That's a wrestler name though. That's like a throwback.
It
80s
is.
name.
You're right. You're not wrong there.
I'm LA Knight. It's simple. It's a great gimmick. And it's not even a gimmick. That's the great. It's just a name.
Right. Exactly. It is just a name.
But it's hokey.
My question is if he ever makes to the main roster, are they going to drop the Knight and he's just going to be LA, or are they going to drop the LA and he's just going to be Knight?
He's going to be Knight.
He's going to be Knight. Yeah,
they might change it all together. Keep the Knight and add like an M Knight. Shamalama ding dong.
But I'm curious too if the reports are indeed true about Taya Valkyrie signing, what her name will be. Because that's always the big one. But apparently this class, we'll keep an eye on it when it is officially announced. But supposed to be pretty big class coming into the Performance Center. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that one.
Do you think that the WWE will even reference the relationship to John Morrison? Because I believe they're hitched, right? They're married, I think.
I believe so. I know they're obviously been together a long time. I believe they're married. Well, if she gets to the main roster, which no reason to believe why she can't, then I think absolutely they will touch on it. But otherwise, I don't know. That's a good question. If they can make money on like a network documentary about it, then
they are married back in.
He doesn't give a shit two shits about the name. He will give a shot, but he doesn't give two shits about the name. Well, there we go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Better.
Jim, let's play this game we love to play.
Ooh.
How old do you think Taya Valkyrie is?
Oh, I think I saw this the other day. Is she 36?
She is 37.
37.
Right.
Whew. Glad I didn't go over.
Right. That's smart. Always take the under on that.
Take the under.
Always take the under. But again, like here is somebody that is kind of clicking in their prime and go. And I know we hit this. I feel like I have such a hard on for this 30 age is old bullshit, but 37 years old. And really is hitting the prime of her career just a few years ago.
Yeah, Bruce AJ Styles is
today
43 years old.
John Morrison, you want to take a guess at how John Morrison is?
He's got to be in his 40s. Is he in his 40s?
41.
Yeah. 41.
And looks phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
Just phenomenal.
I'm 35 and I've aged like cheese. And Morrison pretty much looks the same as he did when he debuted in
right
WWE.
With Eminem, right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's again, it goes back to something we talked about last week when we talked about, yesteryear superstars versus today. Like guys and girls take care of their bodies better. They're much more aware of fitness and eating and rehabbing injuries and being smart about certain things, as opposed to back in the day. It's like
they were worried about
rub some morphine in it and take a shot.
Fitness, burger, and drugs in my mouth.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, there's no reason to believe and even with the style of wrestling that so many have been working for years that they can't have a career that look at AJ Styles. Guys, what, 46, 40? He's got to be late 40s now, right?
Who?
AJ Styles.
He's got to be.
Like, and he's still working as great as he's been in years. And I mean, there was reports when he was in Japan that he had back injuries and knee injuries, and we thought, man, this, when he finally gets to WWE, like it's going to be a short run. And that was what, WrestleMania Dallas, where he's coming up on over 5 years with the WWE. So
isn't that wild? I mean, there was a time where I thought we were never going to get, he's 43. We were never going to get AJ Styles in the WWE. It was going to be like the greatest wrestler who never was.
Right.
And he totally rewrote, a late chapter in his book. And it became, some of the best chapters in his entire career.
Oh, 100%. So,
and that's not, again, to take anything away from his X Division runs.
No.
Because he absolutely shook the business up with what him and I think TNA were doing with the X Division at that time.
I don't think he gets to the WWE if it wasn't for his time in TNA and his time in Ring of Honor and his time in Japan, because like he had turned the WWE down. They offered him a development deal, not long after WCW got bought out, and he was kind of like,
but again, think if in that time, if the WWE had what they have in NXT, it would have been a slam dunk. And we would have seen AJ Styles in the WWE at that time.
Absolutely.
So the business model has changed for the WWE so much that it's such an attraction to become like a developmental deal and make that just a short stop in your career. And then it's wild how different the WWE is today.
Absolutely. Could not agree more on that one, Ryan. So let's get back to TakeOver.
Is that what we were talking about?
We were.
Right.
Singles match NXT.
We sat down. We're going to do this real quick. The show is only like 2 hours. How long was the show? 2 hours, 30 minutes. No, the pay-per-view.
40-year-old men.
One match in, and we're 30 minutes. Right, 30 minutes now. We'll try to hurry this along for you guys.
Johnny Gargano defending the North American Championship successfully over Kushida, 24 minutes, 49 seconds. This is actually my highest rated match of the night. This is my match of the night. This match also on my my list for matches of the year. I absolutely loved it. I mean, I think at one point I just tweeted out, and if you've been to an independent show, probably anywhere, at some point during the night, you're going to get a wrestling. And it was an awesome match. The fluidity of counter after counter after counter, pin counter, submission counter. I mean, everything. I did, and then there were some things you can kind of maybe nitpick. I know, Tim and Marcus, like Marcus talked about Gargano's arm injury, and he was able to use the arm, but it took two finishers. Like, maybe I'm not looking at it as critically as that show, which again, the purpose of that show, the viewer's choice, is one person has to defend good, one person has to defend bad, like it's a court case. So like, right. You're looking for those things. For me, I just kind of take it all in, and I absolutely loved this match. I thought it was very different for a Johnny TakeOver match. I thought it was the first time we haven't seen the Gargano formula to an NXT TakeOver match, and I think it also puts a shine on Kushida as a main event player in NXT that he hasn't had yet.
Jim, that's the first of all, I'm going to contradict myself while I'm speaking, and I know it's going to be the case. That's absolutely right. It was a 24-minute match. It took multiple finishers to put Kushida down. So just in match length alone, with Johnny wrestling, Kushida looks fine in a loss here, and it establishes him as, like you said, a main event player, if not main event, high upper mid card event player currently in the NXT roster, and that's important for somebody like Kushida. It was a good match. It really was. Was it the longest match of the night?
No, because
it felt long.
The main event beat it by like 20 seconds.
Oh, okay. And I think
if we're being, and I'm not even being funny, 22 seconds.
Ha! I love it.
This was 24:49. The main event 25:11. So
this one felt like it was 20 some minutes. Like, it just felt long, which I don't know why that bothered me. I feel like I'm not used to that with Johnny Gargano type matches. And maybe it was Gargano straying from the Gargano formula. Maybe I was just expecting more out of this match. I know on Thursday I said this should be the match of the night, and I went in with lofty expectations, and unfortunately it just snuck underneath those expectations for me.
So this was not your match of the night.
This was not my match of the night.
Wow.
But and again, it's crazy because Kushida looked fine in it, and I feel like we're back to Johnny wrestling because it was a solid wrestling match. I just expected more than I got. I feel. I gave this match a B. So it's a good match. So if you're going C is average, B is good, A is great. This was a good match to me, and this one also got a B.
Yeah, this one got an A for me. I mean, I got to save my A pluses for this Sunday night with Elimination Chamber.
Naturally,
there's a quota I can only hit in a month, so I got to save them. But yeah, I mean, it definitely lived up to the hype for me. Before we continue, I want to remind everybody our show is brought to you by Arena Eats. Go to arenaeats.app, get the app. I actually finally downloaded the app on my phone. I'm excited to have it. I'll be even more excited when I actually get to use the damn thing eventually, when all this COVID stuff is finally gone and in the rearview mirror. We can get back to going to live shows, live wrestling, live concerts, all of that. You get the Arena Eats app, and you can save yourself a lot of time and trouble by getting your concessions. You don't have to make the choice between the bathroom and the concession stand. You don't even have to get out of your seat to go and get your food or your drink. You can sit there, you're enjoying. I know Ryan enjoys Cameron's matches and stuff like that, and he can go to the app and type in cheeseburger, French fries, chicken tenders, cheeseburger, Coca-Cola, and it can be they'll bring it right out to the seat. You don't even have to miss a minute of the action. So again, go to Arena Eats. They are a proud sponsor of NGSC Sports, our home network, ngscsports.com. So make sure you go to arenaeats.app, arenaeats.app to get the app today.
Great time to take a snack.
Absolutely. There you go. Now, Ryan, this one, this thing, not in the next match, but if I could drop a letter grade on this show for one thing, it's the fucking ramp. I hate the ramp that comes flat against the apron. I've never liked it. Maybe it's because it was a WCW thing, and I think Japan did it, and now AEW does it. I've never. I know TNA did it for a while. I've just never liked the ramp coming all the way just direct right to the apron. I've never been a fan of it, and like I recognize it right away, and I'm like, this sucks. I hate it. I don't like it. But I was like, I'll reserve judgment till the end of the show to see if it really gets like utilized for any reason whatsoever, and it really didn't.
Yeah, I feel like if it got utilized anywhere, it was in the Gargano Kushida match.
He hit the DDT thing
kind
on
of
it.
Right. That's all I can really remember.
Run-ins maybe a little bit quicker because they didn't have to like get up into the ring. They could just but it really served no purpose. I'm like, and they've never used that before with NXT. So I'm just like, why now? Why all of a sudden? Because again, you're not reviving an old WCW pay-per-view name. It's not like I mean, you could have done it on Halloween Havoc and it would have made a little bit more sense maybe. But like this was a old WWF pay-per-view name. Like that, I don't understand why they did it. I like I said, I hated it. I know I'm probably one of the few that gets that angry about a ramp.
To steal a quote from one of our listeners, Devin, I couldn't give two shits.
There you go.
No impact to me at all.
I knew you and Devin were friends after all. So let's look at the next one, and this is where I thought the show hit its peak. I thought it did kind of go a little downhill after this one. But it was the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Classic Finals. MSK, Nash Carter and Wesley defeating the Grizzled Young Vets, James Drake and Zach Gibson, 18 minutes and 26 seconds. The MSK will receive a future NXT Tag Team Championship matchup. I think one of the things I tweeted during this match is just how good Wesley is. Like, yeah, they're a tag team. They came in together and they're going to get a tag shot. My guess is they're probably going to win the tag team titles. I feel like this is just because it went from like they're in the Performance Center to in the Dusty Classic and winning the Dusty Classic in like a real short time. So I don't feel like I feel like it's that quick rocket launch. So I feel like they're probably going to win the tag team titles. But to me, Wesley is absolutely the star coming out of this match, coming out of this team. As long as they let him develop and let him be him, like just stay out of his way. Let him be him. I mean, we saw him, Desmond Xavier, here at Legacy, and I think even at PWE or Keystone at a time, and we've had him on the show multiple times. Awesome dude. Like, couldn't be happier to see him in this spot, and just again, flawless, just flawless.
Yeah, we actually we saw Zach Wentz as well in a Legacy ring before as well. He was I think in a 4-way match one time. So yeah, the former tag team, then known as the Rascals, minus Trey Miguel, formerly known as obviously Zachary Wentz and Desmond Xavier, now Nash Carter and Wesley. The names are growing on me. That's fine. MSK versus Grizzled Young Vets. Jim, this was my match of the night. This match ended up once again on my, and I say once again, my match of the year card, because I feel like for the third straight year in a row, I have a Grizzled Young Vets tag team wrestling match on my match of the year list. James Drake, Zach Gibson, I think, brought the best out of MSK and vice versa. I have just a whole bunch of notes. You can't see it from this match. I love that it was back and forth wrestling match.
Yeah.
With technical wrestling from the Grizzled Young Vets and MSK working up to the Grizzled Young Vets, and then high risk aerial moves from MSK that the Grizzled Young Vets met MSK on. I thought it was such a great balance of a professional wrestling match. As technical as the Grizzled Young Vets got, MSK got equally aerobatic with their moveset. I saw a tweet circulating that Grizzled Young Vets are what the Revival, or what fans thought the Revival was. And quite frankly, I don't think that's a bad comparison. I think pound for pound, the Grizzled Young Vets are the best tag team in NXT right now. And I think you can make an argument that they're the best tag team in the WWE.
Yeah, whether it was that same one or a similar one, like Grizzled Young Vets are what FTR wish they were.
Sure, something like that, right? Like, they do tag team wrestling.
Fantastic.
Right. Real quick, I did some research last year. The Grizzled Young Vets lost in the finals of the Dusty Classic. To get there, they beat the Time Splitters, Kushida and Alex Shelley. That one small appearance for Alex Shelley. Right. And the Undisputed Era, losing to the Bruiserweights last year. This year the Broserweights, the Broserweights. My apologies. This year they beat Everrise, Kushida and Leon Ruff, Ciampa and Thatcher to get to the finals, coming up short to a rocketing MSK. So these guys, I think, are the real deal. I'd love to see more of them in NXT. I think they've done what they can do in NXT UK. I think they are stars here in the States and can be made huge stars in the NXT division as a tag team. Again, I think this is the best tag team match I've seen in the WWE for a bit. Loved every bit of it. Like I said, this was my match of the night.
So this got an A?
This got an A.
Yeah, it's just A-. I mean, there wasn't a lot, really to pick apart about it. It was, maybe the little promo at the start, just felt out of place. I don't know. It just
felt forced.
It didn't connect. So maybe that's why I knocked it down. I didn't put any real notes as to why. I put some notes on my next two matches as to why I graded them as I did. But yeah, nothing to complain about here. And like I said, I do fully expect to see MSK pick up the tag team titles. Devin had said there that this was his match of the night. So and it was close. It was close for me. But Gargano and Kushida had just a slight bit higher than this one. Then we move. Like I said, this is one where I thought that the pay-per-view started to come down a little bit.
You would be wrong, because the highlight of the entire pay-per-view, and you were going to just glance right over it, was a wonderful Cameron Grimes "To the Moon" music video, baby.
I had to go back and watch it because the puppy had to go outside.
Oh no!
During this one, but Cameron Grimes, man, he's fantastic. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite characters under the WWE umbrella right now, and Money Grimes is just. It's just where it's at.
It's going to all come crashing down real soon, which I love.
Of course.
But like, he got rich off of GameStop stocks. He invested in that, and he's now the richest man in NXT. And unfortunately for GameStop, today it's trading at $49.32.
No.
And that obviously down from the 52-week high of $483 per stock. So I think they're gonna play around with this, and then we're gonna see. Unfortunately, the stock just kind of and him realize that the money he thought he had at $48 a share is not there anymore. Or sorry, $438, and it's a tenth of that today. And Cameron Grimes will come right back down from the moon.
Absolutely, but it should be amusing, nonetheless. But yeah, I forgot that was at this point of the show, because, like I said, had to let the dog out.
And now everything starts going down.
Now everything begins to come down. And like and keep in mind when I say this, I'm not saying that the women's championship match or the NXT championship match were bad by any stretch of the imagination. The women's title match was my lowest rated match of the show, my lowest graded, but it was a B-. So like I'm not saying it was bad. It was short. I thought it had an abrupt ending. You had an announce table that just went rogue, and decided just to take that hard bump by itself. But I thought the women did a really good job at adjusting to it, because like very easily they could have froze up and just been like, oh shit, what happened? And they didn't do that. They didn't panic. They didn't overreact. They were able to recover, I thought. So I really thought it was Tony time, though. I really did. And I just don't know. I don't know at this point how much longer you go with the EO reign and what else you can really do with it. I mean, it just I feel like it has kind of run its course now. I mean, the NXT women's title, I mean, it's a title that you're used to long reigns. EO's at 253 days. The shortest was Kairi Sane, had it for 71. Rhea Ripley had it for 98. Charlotte Flair had it for 73. But otherwise, I mean, you have reigns of 308 days with Paige, 258 with Charlotte, 510 with Asuka. You had a 416-day reign with Shayna Baszler. So I get, like, we've kind of been accustomed to long reigns as NXT Women's Champion, but right now I just feel like that division is so great and it's so loaded that what else can you really do with Io Shirai as champion? That, it was time to move the title, have a fresh champion, fresh feuds, and, I mean, I'm sure Io will get back to the title picture, but it just, I think that one was a bit of a bummer for me as well.
Yeah, I feel like this should have been Toni Storm's big bash. This should have been the first time we saw Toni Storm in an NXT ring, standing tall, and really establish Storm either A, as the champion, or B, a real legitimate threat. And I don't feel like that happened. Same thing with Mercedes Martinez. I didn't think Mercedes Martinez was going to win here, but I feel like this was the time we should have said, wow, Io really needs to worry. Because A, unfortunately, she's not Asuka, and I don't think we're going to see this reign of 500-day terror that Asuka,
right?
And that was Asuka. Like that was the biggest thing in NXT. I don't think they're putting Io in that category, and rightfully so. They should not, unfortunately, for Io. Not saying Io's bad. I'm just saying Io's not Asuka. Man, it just felt so short to me for a triple threat match, for everybody to get what they needed to do to get in there. A 12-minute match. I don't know why this was the worst night of 12 minutes. That boggles my mind. Triple H had said in like a call then that they were given 20 minutes, and the agents and the wrestlers took the time that they needed, and it was 12 something minutes. The table spot probably shaved a minute off. Whatever the bump would have been, the recovery, the getting out of that probably adds a minute of time. Sure. Maybe it felt shorter watching it because we had the intros. We didn't actually get the introductions from the ring announcer, so we kind of lost that time because Mercedes jumped the bell. I'm just trying to think of reasons why it felt so short to me, and that was really
the ending. I felt like it went
done
to 100. Yeah,
right. It's
like when it happened. I think I had looked down or I was tweeting something, and I heard the bell, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Right. It was booked odd. The ending felt rushed. Again, I don't think in a triple threat match 12 minutes is enough for everybody to get what they needed to get to establish this match properly. The worst match of the night. This is a C- for me. It really didn't do anything for me at all. And it's a shame because I like all of the women involved. I feel like Mercedes probably looked the best in this match. I was able to call some Mercedes matches on the indies, and I feel like what we saw from her was what we saw from her on the indies, as like this badass competitor. But I feel like that's the only one that really stood out to me. Io didn't do anything we haven't seen Io do already. Right. And Toni Storm really was a disappointment this match. And I wanted so much more. Again, I predicted Storm to win.
It's got those Thanos hands. She destroyed a table just by clearing it, Ryan.
Right. It's wild. I mean, and you couldn't lay down your opponent with that? Are you kidding me?
That's true.
Man, yeah, it's a bummer. There's still plenty of time to get anybody involved in this match back on. And again, I don't even think they're on the wrong path. I think they just had a bad match on an NXT. If this match was on Raw, it'd probably be the match of the night. And I hate to be that way. On this takeover card, it just happened to be the worst. Put this on NXT or AEW, I mean, 5 stars.
10 if you're in Japan.
Easily 7.
Apparently in like a storage shed with the AEW banner behind it.
Apparently, you got to find that apparently kid and put him on the soundboard for me.
But like, did you see any of the? I didn't have a chance to watch any of the matches yesterday from the women's Japan bracket for AEW. They aired on YouTube yesterday. Because apparently that's totally, and like
missed it.
Like, here's the deal.
First of all, I had a fucking Monday yesterday. It was the Monday-est of Mondays. Not a good day. So that the fact that I even got to watch a little bit of Raw was a shock to me. So I did not search for additional professional wrestling to watch last night. I just
saw a picture. It looked. I mean, it literally looked like a ring set up in like a storage closet with like an AEW banner hanging behind it. And which again, work with what you got. I understand COVID and things are difficult and what have you. The only thing that bothers me about it, and I'm sure we'll touch on it Thursday night, but like, okay, so, and I'm thrilled they're getting it. There's a tournament to determine the number one contender. My issue with it is you want us to take the women's division more seriously. So now you're putting half of the bracket on YouTube. Again, we have to go to YouTube to get this. But you're not even going to put it as part of like your second TV program in AEW Dark, which has 1,000 matches a week anyhow. So you're not even going to put that bracket on TV at all. You're just going to throw it on a Monday night on YouTube. It's like, if people aren't like, like, is the justification because people aren't as used to Japanese style wrestling as they are they're producing weekly? So like, I don't know. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure we'll touch about that more on Thursday night. This is a takeover pod, not a dunk on AEW pod. But yeah, I also, the other note I put down for this for the women's championship match, tough to follow. I feel like the coming off of the men's Dusty Classic, this was a hard spot to be in. And I mean, we've seen, 30, what number takeover is this one now. I want to see if it
It's
says
up there for sure.
33rd. So it's the 33rd takeover, and they're usually all around 4 or 5. I think the most maybe 6 matches. So everybody's going to be in a tough spot because takeovers typically are great matches. But this one felt like it was in a tough spot. You know, you had a couple of things maybe go wrong. So I maybe gave them a bit of forgiveness on that one.
I don't know where else I would put this. This doesn't open the show.
No, I don't think it was in the wrong.
And I don't
spot.
think you can go 1-2 woman.
No.
So like it's an unenvious spot. I mean, I'm gonna unfortunately, like I said, I'm calling it like it is. It just wasn't a good match.
I'm not saying, yeah, I think it was in the right spot.
Right. I mean, I think you put it as the opener. It falls flat, much like the announce table. Again, I can't see it going woman because people would bitch then that it was front loaded to the women and they weren't,
they weren't featured, and they were.
If you go guys open the show, it would still be going second and behind. It's a bad spot.
Yeah, no,
it just didn't click. Whatever. We move on. And we look forward to Wednesday night. We look forward to next Wednesday, and see how they can reestablish themselves. And if NXT does something really, really good, I think it's turning a negative to a positive. Sure. And they could chalk this up to whatever. They could chalk it up to Tony, didn't perform because Mercedes was there. Throw those two into a small feud. Sure. Whoever comes out then battles EO one-on-one. I mean, there's plenty of ways to go.
Suspend the announce table for screwing up the match.
Correct. That would be great.
And then finally, of course, the NXT Championship match of 25 minutes, 11 seconds. Finn Balor successfully defending against Pete Dunne. The only problem, I guess, if you want to call it that, I think it was the spot where like Balor was like nearly knocked out. Was kind of like up against the ropes and they were kind of checking on him. That little sequence came off a little bit wonky and confused. Like it just, whether it was meant to come across that way or whatever, it seemed out of place. It seemed to kind of break up the momentum and the tempo of the match. And then the only other like negative note, so to speak, I had on the match is like it was almost too much of like giggity finger stuff. Like I get the joint manipulation and all of that, but like I feel like they went back to that specific well a lot of times, and I know that's what he does. And then at the end you saw Balor not able to do the guns, but really there's like
at the end of the match.
Yes,
when you're in the ring with Adam Cole, though, you can absolutely do it again. He cracked them and he was good to go.
We will get to that. Obviously, the post match stuff. This match felt like it got like you said the Kushida match felt like it got a little long to you. This one felt like it did get a little bit long to me. Now I think this is one of Balor's better NXT title defenses. This felt like a not typical Finn Balor matchup. Because I know, I always think about Tim. He's the kicky dude. This one felt a little bit different for a Balor match, and I credit Pete Dunne with that one. But no problem with Balor keeping the title. I think going into WrestleMania season, when we've talked about the potential for an NXT Championship matchup on the WrestleMania card, I think you keep it on Balor for that reason. But yeah, it just felt a little bit long, and there's just a couple of wonky points during the match, but I gave the match a B+. It wasn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I think this was a nice technical wrestling match that we saw between both of these gentlemen who can absolutely have technical matches with enough bruising strikes, brawling thrown in that it lent itself to be hard hitting and looks like what an NXT main event should look like. I gave this match a B. Didn't have anything really wrong with it. It was a good match. I think both wrestlers brought the best out of each other in this match. 24 minutes. Again, I'm kind of used to longer NXT main event matches, so the time didn't actually affect me as much as it did earlier in the night. Yeah, I don't nothing bad about this match really at all. Other than Jim, and you pointed it out, the weird Balor passing out. So like, why wasn't that a ref stoppage? That should have been the match. Balor was out.
Could you imagine if they did that?
They've done it before, though. We've seen
but,
ref stoppages and awarding the match to somebody else. So I think, continuity and consistency needs to happen here. And whether that was Balor overselling the move or the referee, I mean, obviously it's the referee was not supposed to call the match there.
Right.
But then that's got to go to Balor for overselling and looking like he's been rendered unconscious, which in any other combat sport, the match is over.
Right.
We've seen it in WWE it could signify the match being over. And it didn't happen. So that was an issue. Sure. Yeah. So it's a B. I don't think it hurt the show whatsoever. I don't think it did the show any favors either. So yeah, it's a B.
Yeah, and for the night, I mean, when I do the math on it, my grade for the show comes out to a B+. And I think it was. I think it was a really good show. I don't think it's an all-time takeover, but we've seen worse tagovers, certainly.
Looking at you, Philadelphia.
Yeah. Still, if I'm really thinking about it, still.
We ought to go back and watch that because again, it was a crazy weekend for us.
We should.
I know I was tired as hell at the hotel. I think I fell asleep watching it.
Yeah, I know.
Just worked the show.
For sure, I had fallen asleep. I'm sure I dozed off at some point.
And I feel like it just
couch love seat thing that clearly small for me.
Yeah, it was.
But you make do. But yeah,
I mean, again, it just my mind always goes to Philadelphia as the worst takeover that we've seen, and maybe it's not right, wrongfully so, but that's where my mind always wanders to. So yeah, this was a B show for me.
I mean, I just got what I maneuvered all afternoon that day, so maybe I was all tired out from the day.
You did. That was the night of the infamous What a Maneuver.
It certainly was. Yeah.
Remember who the match was?
Wasn't it? It was it Solo Darling and Jordan Grace?
No, Solo Darling and Kelly Klein.
Kelly Klein. I knew it was
Klein. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, well, let's go to the post match.
Sure.
From the NXT Championship matchup, we saw Lorcan and Birch come to the ring, attack Finn Balor. The Undisputed Era, sans Bobby Fish, come to the ring as Fish is out rehabbing yet another injury. Also, side note, apparently he's a huge QAnon guy, which is super disappointing. But in the same
really,
yeah, I saw somebody talking about it on Sunday. I didn't deep dive to see if it's actually true or not.
Now Drake Wirtz, I would believe. I feel like I've seen things about him.
Yeah, but like.
I'll have to look into that. Old fishy boy.
It also wouldn't necessarily surprise me.
Probably
I guess
not.
I'm not surprised by much of anything anymore at this point. But yeah, apparently that he's a huge QAnon guy. But he's out rehabbing, so it was of course Adam Cole, Bebe, and then O'Reilly and Roderick Strong to the aid of Finn Balor. They clear the ring, and they kind of set up for the hand signal, and all of a sudden Adam Cole super kicks Finn Balor and then super kicks Kyle O'Reilly and just is like, I'm getting out of Dodge, trying to get Roddy Strong to go with him. Strong's like one foot through the rope. Strong played that perfectly.
For sure.
100% perfectly, because it's like, what the hell just happened? Is the Undisputed Era over? Is Adam Cole just leaving the group? Like, the amount of questions coming out of this are absolutely fantastic. So what's your take on what exactly happened? Like, are they done, or is it he's done? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I want to call out a Kyle O'Reilly tweet, and the guy doesn't tweet very often.
Okay.
His previous tweet was February 3rd. And then one day ago, he tweeted, "Stoked to sit down and watch NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day as a fan of the sport and business. Yes, it sucks the UE isn't involved tonight, but I'm eager to enjoy the show and hope you will too." It stood out to me. I saw it. I was like, it's kind of a bummer. Yui's not even there. Because Kyle O'Reilly said so in a tweet. He's sitting down and watching it. So the tweet worked and swerved me. So when I saw him come out, I was like, all right, yeah, call me what you want. I was like, okay, great. A simple tweet swerved me enough to think that Yui wouldn't be involved. Jim, I don't know what's going to happen, and that's the great thing about it. You can I don't even know if it's safe to say the Undisputed Era is broken up at this point. Adam Cole could come out and say, like, look, emotions got the best of me. I was the NXT champion, and when I saw you like favoring Finn Balor, a bit of jealousy hit, and I super kicked Balor, and then I was wrong and I super kicked you too, and I didn't mean that. And O'Reilly might just be a Yui guy enough to like understand that apology and be like, dude, we're brothers fight. It could happen.
Like
Rod Strong.
We start NXT on tomorrow night, and Adam Cole just looks deep into Kyle O'Reilly's eyes and says,
I'm stupid. You're smart. I was wrong. You were right. You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
All right. As long as you're willing to admit that.
I mean, and then Rod Strong is the glue that pulls Yui back together. We could see Adam Cole come out with Rod Strong, and they have kicked Kyle O'Reilly out of the Undisputed Era. You want to side with Finn Balor? Then side with Finn Balor. You're out. Where that leaves Bob Fish, who knows? We could see Cole come out by himself and Rod Strong take the side of Kyle O'Reilly, and Cole is out as a singer. Who knows? But the Undisputed Era has reigned over NXT since 2017. When they first were introduced to the NXT audience, and what a run those guys had.
Yeah, because I think everybody's assumption is that they're eventually just going to graduate to Raw or SmackDown together, and they're going to be Undisputed Era in WWE together. Sure. And now that kind of appears like it's not the case. I had this thought a little bit, and again, I'll credit Tim and Marcus. Everybody knows Tim from our show, and his best friend Marcus on the Final Wrestling Place, and the new Viewer's Choice, and the Viewer's Choice when we review each current pay-per-view, and they kind of made the comparison to like when there was NWO black and white, and then there was NWO red and black. So like maybe this is just kind of that situation where it's like, we kind of got to go our own ways for a little bit, but like we have the same feel, the same spirit, but we got to do our own thing for now. And maybe Adam Cole's got his crew ready for the red and black, and because like I mean after War Games we saw a new look to the Undisputed Era's gear with the red and the camo, and then there's still the black and yellow hanging out there. So maybe that was a foreshadowing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just pulling that out of my ass. But like, I love the fact that going into this coming Wednesday, tomorrow night, that we don't know what is happening. Like, when everybody wants to talk about wrestling is too predictable, and they do the same thing all the time, and this and that and whatever. And I'm not necessarily saying that anybody's necessarily wrong in those judgments, but this is an opportunity for them to do something a little bit different and keep people guessing and stuff like that. And I think that's what happened when Cole hit the super kick on Balor. It's like, oh, cool, Undisputed Era is a heel again, right? Love it. And then what just happened? And I love Pat McAfee immediately on Sunday night, demanding that like the wrestling fans apologize to him for calling out the fact that Adam Cole was a scumbag from the time he came into NXT. And so like that all of a sudden is back in the mix as well. So I thought it was a fantastic way to end the show.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Adam Cole and Pat McAfee together down the road, wrestling against O'Reilly and Rod Strong.
Would love it. Would love it.
Because they went to war. Whatever happened, McAfee's gone. McAfee.
Oh, you froze up, Ryan. We're gonna lose Ryan here for a second, but yeah, I'll jump in if Ryan jumps back in here for a second. I will. I will get him back on. But yeah, I mean, you good?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I never froze up on my end.
Yeah, you literally were like,
"Oh wow." No, I heard you talking fine. I was talking fine. The video was fine.
Yeah,
That's
no.
wild.
Anyway, but I think
where'd you lose me at?
You were just kind of gotten done saying that you could see McAfee and Cole together because they had gone to war.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't know how long. That was pretty much the end of my thought.
Yeah, I think it would make a ton of sense, and we get a lot of people talking. I mean, McAfee should be able to get back in the fold again now because with football season being over, kind of like the sports podcast world side of him should cool down a little bit. So there's no reason to think he shouldn't be able to get back into that that situation anytime soon. So any other thoughts, Ryan, on Vengeance Day and Takeover and where we go?
No, another solid NXT outing. Fun little card. I guess we look forward to doing this next Tuesday when we talk about
we will
the chamber, right? Is it
chamber? Yeah. Now, $1 million question, Ryan. Tonight, NBC, are you going to check out Young Rock?
Probably not.
Probably not. No interest at all for you?
No, not that there's no interest. What is today? Tuesday.
You can always DVR it. It's a sitcom.
Yeah, sure. I'll DVR it. Half an hour in and out real quick. I can fast forward commercials. It'll be 24 minutes. Probably won't catch it live, but yeah, I'll DVR it. I'll watch it.
I never watch anything live, really.
We'll talk about it Thursday. Can't wait.
Perfect. I will. I'll make sure the other guys check it out as well. So Ryan, people can follow you on the Twitter at RYN Eagle. I don't have the bumper up with the new overlay. There's no, because like watch what happens if I go to put the names on there. You don't even
look at this. There it goes.
You just don't even see them. I should make little nameplates. Maybe I'll work on that. Because again, all the time in the world. But you can follow him at RYN Eagle. You can follow me at Big Jim Sports. Actually, just check out the graphic that's on the screen now. You'll see all of our Twitters. Check out NGSC Sports, ngscsports.com. We stream daily at Leap Sports. Check out our merchandise, whatamaneuver.net, Collar and Elbow brand store. Use promo code 3count for 10% off each and every order. But make sure you go to 3countthursday.com. Follow us on all of our social media at 3Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Check out our Woman of the Week on our Instagram page for this week, our Patreon, and much more. Until Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern time on our Facebook page. We are 3Count Thursday. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay smart, and go for the pin. Three Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?